Hey guys, what's up? It is me, Bolt, on another video. So, Merry Christmas. It's officially over, which is very sad, but today I'm gonna showcase my new Honeycomb Bravo throttle and the Alpha Yoke in this video, as well as we're gonna go on to Microsoft Flight Simulator and fly around a little bit just to show you the features of it. So, by the way, this is not sponsored, so this is going to be my full review, so I'm not paid to say anything in this video, so it's going to be all my opinions. So, first things first, we're going to take a look at this yoke right here. So, first of all, I want to let you know that it feels really nice, really nice and sturdy. It's not gonna, there's no play in this rod here. Like, it's solid as a rock, which is really good. Next thing is that it has a 180-degree range of motion, meaning it goes 90 degrees this way and 90 degrees that way. Has also a pretty good travel distance. Now, I am holding this with one arm because I'm holding my phone, so, but not too bad. So, like, it's not difficult to push or pull. In fact, the next point I want to make is that there's these rock solid clamps that are clamping down. So if you notice, it actually is moving my desk a little bit, which is actually a good thing. That means the clamps are rock solid and it's not gonna move, which is very important, because if you're gonna pull on this, you don't want this to go flying. You don't want this to come loose. And don't worry, it's not gonna pull my desk over. I pull, like, I always, it goes to full back and full forward and nothing. Okay, so next, I want to take a look at this. So it has this really nice looking background, honeycomb, obviously, because it's a honeycomb design, which I really like, and it lights up, which is really cool. So now there's a button in the back, which I'm not sure if you can see, but there's a button in the back that you can press. Hold on, let me find it. There's a button that you can press to adjust the lighting. So hold on. Where is it? Hold on. Here it is. So you notice it turns off, and then there's different levels that you can do. So, right. So the yoke feels very nice in hand. Feels very. It's a smooth travel, and smooth all the way around. So that's really important. Next is you got these these are programmable, so if you want to change these to whatever you want. And then you also got your lights, such as you got your beacon, landing, taxi, and all that good stuff. So, but I have those set as the lights, of course, because that's what they're intended for. And then on the yoke itself, on this side, you have a nice little hat switch. You got a button, and you got these little button, which is your, I believe, your elevator trim. But on the throttle, you also got a trim wheel, so you can change this to whatever you want. And also on the back, you got the push to talk button, which I've actually programmed to the brakes because I don't have pedals. Right, so that is the yoke. Also, taking a look this way, now this desk is not too big. Hold on, I think I actually got, it's not too big. So, like, I was actually a little worried that this was gonna be too big for my desk, but I can comfortably sit and see the whole entire screen, which is great. Also, I can rest my keyboard right on it and the mouse on the throttle quadrant. So that is the yoke. Next, we're going to be talking about the throttle quadrant. All right, so before we get into this, I forgot to mention that this side of the yoke also has some buttons and your rudder trim. Also, there's this ignition switch, which is a nice, satisfying click to each click to it. So my overall review for the yoke is a 5 out of 5 because it feels really smooth. It feels really nice. Like it's really high quality. So like the material doesn't feel cheap at all. It feels really rock solid. So it's not going to break or do anything that you don't want it to. So that's really good. So A plus, 5 out of 5, or whatever. Because it's totally like this is totally awesome, and I'm more than thrilled when I got this. Moving on to the Throttle Quadrant. So this has a bunch of different fun features to it, such as, so we're going to work from this side to this side, starting off with the gear lever, so first of all, we got a nice gear lever, which a nice satisfying click, so I can, it's always fun to do that. Also, this does light up, so it's green when your gears are down, it's red when it's transitioning to down to up or up from down, and then it turns off when it's up. So because I'm not in a flight right now, this is it's off. Next things next, which is a fun feature that I'm absolutely thrilled to have, is this trim wheel. So you can trim down and trim up like that, which a lot of these throttle quadrants I've found don't really have them. Now, I'm not sure, but I read somewhere that Logitech used to have it, but they discontinued it for whatever reason. But I'm not entirely sure. You're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section below. Right. So next things we're actually gonna go over here in the panel. So we got your autopilot, which is awesome. I use that every flight because, it really takes the workload off of me because I just hit this autopilot button and boom, we're there. And when I'm ready to descend and do manual flying, I can either press this or on the yoke just make some manual inputs and it will automatically disconnect it. So then you have these bunch of different programmable buttons, which I haven't programmed to anything yet, but I'm gonna. And then let's move the speed brake out of the way. Then you also got your lights, which these do light up. So in case of an engine fire, that will light up, or low oil pressure and all that good stuff. Well, not necessarily good stuff, but it'll let you know when an emergency, a master caution, master warning, and all that stuff. Your APU. So it's a really cool feature that definitely is fun to have on the throttle. And now, if you're flying general aviation, such as a Cessna or whatever, this is your flaps lever, which is, it's really nice that they include it on the throttle quadrant, which is, Honeycomb really goes above and beyond on their flight simulator equipment. So, yeah. And next, we're going to talk about the actual throttle quadrant itself. So you got 6 different levers, which is awesome. You only need to buy one, and you can fly whatever aircraft you want, from a single-engine Cessna to a 4-engine Boeing 747. Sorry, yep, that's right. My PC is starting to sound like an airplane. Right, so right now I have it set up for a twin-engine commercial jet. So these actually come off like this. So don't worry, I didn't break it. You can place it on, and then you will get these boxes. These come included with the throttle quadrant. So this is general aviation. So you got your throttle, prop, and mixture levers in there, which you can remove from the box like this, and then you can switch it out. So put this speed brake down there for now, and then we can insert the throttle, throttle like that, and then you got yourself throttle. So I'm gonna, because I'm flying a commercial jet, I'm gonna take this off. Don't worry, you won't break it, because once again, these bits, these levers, they feel pretty solid. They are made out of plastic, but it doesn't feel cheap, which is awesome. Because you know, we genuinely associate plastic with cheaply built, but these are not cheaply built. So this is my general aviation, and then you'll also get a commercial jet, which has 4 levers, a speed brake, and a flaps lever. So let me put the speed brake back. So right now, so if you want to fly a 2-engine jet, such as a 737, you can. Or if you want to fly a 4-engine one, such as the Boeing 747, you can as well. And you also got your flaps, and you got your... Oh no, these are the speed brakes. Clearly says speed brakes, and this is your flaps. And it also has this nice little detent into it, but you know. Oh. So yeah, this is really great. The adding power, and it feels really smooth. And also the cool things is these have a functioning reverse thrust. So you can, so if you come in for landing, you pull back, then set to idle and reverse, and then you got yourself idle reverse. It also has a toga button, which is take off, go around, which will automatically which will increase the engine power to full, to toga power, to the toga setting, take off, go around. If you to take off, or if you messed up a landing, you could go around. These also have the detent, they all do. So notice now, if you're not using a slot, you get 6 of these rubber boot like things, and you'll put them on like this. If I can get it on, and then boom, it fits like that, so it can prevent from dust coming into there and messing up the machine and all that good stuff. You know, it's really good idea that they included that. It looks nice too. It doesn't look cheap, doesn't look bad, just it looks really nice. So my next point is the Logitech only has 3 levers, so if you want, you have to buy 2 of the Logitech if you want to equal, not to equal one of these. Not really, because it doesn't have all that good stuff. But now, of course, I don't know, you know, I don't know how the Logitech feels or anything, because I don't have that one. So I can't really make a fair review on that, because I don't have it, but that's just my observation. It only has 3 levels, and you can buy 2, but it's much cheaper with pretty much $300 a piece. It's so, once again, oh, I forgot to mention, there's this tensioner if you want to increase or decrease the tension. So right now you definitely have some resistance, but not too bad. I mean, it's not too tight to the point that you can't undo it, but then you got little resistance. I like medium resistance, in my opinion. So this feels nice to me. So yeah. So now that I've basically done a review on that, my overall rating on this is, of course, a 5 out of 5 once again. Once again, Honeycomb managed to bring home a 5 out of 5. So, that of course means leaves the math easy to us. Makes easy math because they both 5 out of 5. So the overall rating is, of course, a 5 out of 5. Because, like, my gosh, it feels really nice, and it turns out it's not too big. You know, like it might have a smaller desk, it's not terribly small, but it's not too big either. So like, there's definitely enough room so I can see my whole PC. I can even rest my keyboard if I want, and my mouse. And when I go into the simulator, I'm gonna put my webcam. It's going to be facing the throttle quadrant and rather than the yoke because you know, if I put in the middle, I mean I'll try, but there isn't really a good view to get both. So so that's pretty much my overall review. Now so we're going to hop into the simulator and we're going to test fly a airplane. So I'm just gonna quickly set it all up and then run OBS and then we'll get on with the video. Alright. Hey guys, so we're back in the simulator and we are going to test out my new gear. Now we are going to fly from San Diego International Airport to over here, MMTJ. I don't know what that is, but I just found one that's close enough, so it's not like a million years. Because I believe it's pretty accurate. Like if I want to go to Michigan, it'll take about 4.5 hours, like normal. So ready to get in with it. All right. This is actually my second try at it because last time I was recording it, well, actually I wasn't recording it. I thought I was recording it, but turns out I wasn't, which, boy, is that frustrating. Alright, so let's jump right in. So we're going to be flying the A320, which is a common commercial jet that you typically fly on for, you know. So it does take a little bit of time. So it's the A320 Neo, which is a newer one. Which you can read all about it. And it began operation 2014 and since become the fastest selling commercial jet. Yeah. We are ready to fly. All right. So first things first. Let's get out of the way. You can see a flight plan right up here. So I'm going to show you, zoom out so you can see the whole thing. So I'm going to be flying right here, all the way over here. Okay, so next thing's next. We're going to turn on a seat belt and no smoking lights. And then we are going, and we're pretty much ready to go. All we need to do is disengage the parking brakes, set the flaps, take off, and we are ready to roll. Alright, so I tried to figure out, like, I'm hitting F11, which is my, okay, hold on, make sure that isn't, alright, cool. I'm hitting F11, which is normally my full screen button, but it's not working, so we're gonna just have to make do with what we got. Alright, ready to go. You can see the, lights down there are lit. Alright, the engines are spooling up. I'm going to make it a little bit louder, and we're going to get going. Alright. I'm going to push the yoke a little bit down just to keep it on the ground. And, alright. So now we can lift the aircraft, rotate, so at 150 knots about, positive climb, gear up, and then you can see that in red. That means it's that means the gear is going up, and then it's cool. All right, okay, let's get it level. Okay, we're at Alright, and autopilot. Okay, we should be solid. Yep. And everything looks good here. We're gonna set the flaps. Unfortunately, there's a lot of these inoperative buttons, such as the. Oh wow, that's a really solid view. It's a really good view. Like this, which is the window. Yeah, pilots get the best view of all the people plane, because, you know, and let's go. Okay, so it shouldn't take too long, so I chose a runway that hopefully that won't take us all eternity to get to. Yeah. Alright, so sorry guys if, let me actually reduce the throttle a little bit. So let me tell you a story about the time that I was flying to Michigan on an airplane. So we were flying, and then, you know, these entertainment screens that we get on flights that's on the back of the seats that, you know, make make flights a lot more fun than they used to be. Yeah, well, apparently the left side was malfunctioning, and so the captain was making announcements saying something about um, a malfunction on the left side, and I didn't quite hear that they were talking about the entertainment screen, so I assumed that it was the engine. Now, I knew good and well that that plane could fly on only one engine if I have to, or if it has to. But, you know, it'd be inconvenient because, well, you have to make an emergency landing on a nearby airport, which, you know, will cause delays, and then, you know, it might mess up the vacation a little bit. So, yeah. That was that. And luckily, I was sitting on the right side, but, of course, they wound up resetting the whole plane, the entertainment screens. They didn't restart the whole airplane itself. So yeah, I had to endure a bit, you know, without it, which you know, wasn't too much fun. Which wasn't, you know. So I've actually been on an airplane that didn't have any of that. Now this was way back. This was before I even turned 1 year old. So this was about, so I'm born, so this would be about, this would be about in 2007. If I was born December 10th, 2006, yeah. So somewhere in 07, I'd imagine. I was flying to Michigan to get baptized. So both me and my brother were both baptized in Michigan. And so, yeah, we were flying on a plane that didn't have entertainment screens. Luckily, I was rather small, so I really didn't care because, well, you know, less than 1 year olds don't really do care if airplanes have because they don't really watch much. They pretty much sleep. And according to my family, I was one of those who did not make a ruckus and cry the whole flight. So, you know. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, that's something about me. Yeah, I'm just trying to, oh, almost there, so I'm just trying to, make conversation a little bit, because we got a little bit of time before we have to, touch down. So I'm hoping you can see the throttle. Okay, so once we get there, you'll notice these red, boxes in the sky, that we fly through. Okay, let me zoom in. Okay, almost there. Alright, just a little bit more, and then you can see those red. It's starting to come into view. So let me push. So I'm gonna disengage the autopilot and start flying manually. So we're gonna want to go into those red, like, boxes, like things, which is definitely helpful. Which is helpful to line up an approach. Alright, so we just need to fly into... I could probably come in and like this. Alright, because this is a flight simulator. It, you know, it really doesn't matter if I follow ATC's commands or not, because this is, after all, a flight simulator. However, this gear is actually what it says that real pilots use these. Obviously, they also train in like the simulators where they take a actual cockpit and turn it into a simulator, which that'd also be fun to try out, because But yeah. It says on Honeycomb that it's for flight simulators and pilots, which that's cool. It means we got some good gear. Alright, so we're just gonna line up before we're about at 1,600 feet. Let's put flaps down. I decided to climb up a little bit just to get some extra height. 2,200. Okay, and the airspeed, I'm going to watch airspeed a little bit. It's approaching 200. Okay, need to reduce airspeed a little bit by adding these speed brakes, which is helpful for slowing down in the air, because planes, while they have gears, in the air, while they have brakes on the wheels, in the air it doesn't do anything because it's all tracted up, and even if it's down, it wouldn't do much. I'm hearing a little bit of a... Alright, so I'm going to set the flap setting to... Okay. You can hear the plane slowly getting down, slowly losing speed a little bit, about 193. We're about at airspeed of 190, 189 knots, 190 knots, and of course, planes use knots, nautical miles, knots, instead of regular miles per hour and miles and all that stuff. Yep. So airplanes kind of use a similar system as boats do. Alright. Well, hear those engines spooling up. That's the auto thrust controlling the Alright, so I'm really hoping we don't have to do a go round here, because that would also take up time, and kind of want to keep this video relatively short. So yeah, guys, I apologize for these moments of silence because I'm trying to, I'm kind of have to focus at this point in time. Okay, we're cleared to land. Alright, so in its final flap setting, I'm going to leave in, then we're going to drop the gears down. So it's red, meaning it's transitioning between up and down, and then when it turns green, that means the gears are fully down, which they are now. Right, so I'm doing my best to keep now. There's like no dead zone. Like, I roll it to one side, and it does. And there's also no center detent, which I heard is annoying on other flight simulators, such as the Logitech. Okay, I'm just gonna pull back this to get ready for pulling it back to idle and activating the reversers. I'm gonna arm the speed brakes. Set the speed brakes to the armed position. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're looking, should be white, white, red, red on the Pappy, but okay, I'm gonna pull up just a nut.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20.
Okay.
Retard. Drive.
Alright, no, actually that wasn't too bad. Definitely not on the center line, but it didn't seem too terrible. Alright, we can activate the alright, so disable the setting. Okay, we're gonna taxi in, and we're going to park, turn off the engines, and that's gonna be the video. So I'm up 20 knots. We need to reduce our speed by holding down the button, which is to brake. Not gonna worry about the objectives and tuning to ground, ATC to ground, and all that stuff. Alright, so it looks like over there's a taxi. This is where we're going. Is there a gate? No. The plane definitely is tending to go to the left, so I don't want to go off the taxiway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because it kind of seemed a little tight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the left thrust lever. Just I'm going to do something. I'm going to increase it just to, and then hopefully when it, okay, this is a circle. There we go, there's a gate.
Taxiing to gate 7 using taxiway Charlie Airbus 320.
Alright, keeping the power setting in low, so we can brake when necessary. Let's do this one. And green, which I'm assuming is good. Alright, so let me turn off the seatbelt lights and disengage the engines. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe. As always, it helps out the channel, and like always, I'll catch you on another one. Peace.